You know, we saw you this summer and you were 100% healthy. How soon will you be back to old Dez 100%?
I mean, I'm about there. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's been a great rehab process. It was a great decision to ultimately get the surgery, and coming into the season, I feel like I'm in a really good spot. You know, physically, mentally, my game. So I'm excited to check rock on Sunday.
Marcus was just in here. He's got a reputation of elevating practices quite a bit. I imagine you two are going to see a lot of each other during training camp. How do you think that's going to make you better? And I know you also have sort of a similar reputation. What do you think these battles are going to be like?
I can't wait. You know, I think that you hit it right on the head. He's a guy that'll elevate not only his peers but the whole entire group, probably the whole entire organization. So I'm excited to learn from him, but you know, battle over these next 3 or 4 days or whatever it is, and kind of get on the same page going into the season, and work out some of the kinks in preseason and hit the ground running.
This is a big opportunity for the team, big opportunity for yourself. I think before you got hurt last year, you were averaging like 25, but now, you know, no job to start the season. Ball's probably gonna be in your hands a little bit more. What can you take from the past, 3 years of your career where you were kind of, handling the ball in stretches to now it's probably gonna be in your hands a little bit more. You're gonna be doing a little bit more within the offense. How can you, learn from those opportunities and make this year your best year yet?
No doubt. I mean, I think every year you gotta, sit back and reflect after the season and take a long, hard look in the mirror at, some of the things that you've done well and some of the things that you can improve on. And, for me, I think cardio is right there at the top. I mean, you see the elite two-way guards, Jimmy Butler, Devin Booker, all those guys are, in great shape. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, they're always moving around. So really getting to that level where I can do it, whether I'm on the ball, off the ball, as well as on the defensive end of the floor too. That's an area I want to take a step in this year.
Yeah, piggybacking on Michael's question a little bit. I know you're just getting started training camp tomorrow, but in terms of playing with Marcus Smart, probably to start the season in that backcourt, he's been a little bit more off the ball and on the ball, probably doing both in his career than maybe Ja or Tyus, who've been more traditional on the ball. So even playing the two, do you think you're going to take on more of a ball handling, more of a playmaking burden, sharing it with him in the backcourt?
I'm sure. I mean, we haven't gotten into practices and things like that yet, but kind of similar to when Ja was out last year in the second unit, you would have multiple handlers, whether it was me and JD or Luke or whoever it was out there kind of manning the second unit. I think that, there will be some shared responsibilities on the ball between me and Derrick and whoever else, or me and Marcus, sorry, excuse me, and whoever else ends up starting, alongside of us. But I'm excited to, like I said, share the floor with them and, learn from them.
Do you have any individual goals this year, whether it be scoring or shooting percentage, all-star, anything like that?
I've never really been that type, to come into the season and say I want to average this amount of points or get this accolades. I think if we win, everybody will get their recognition, and success comes with that.
Hey, Dez, good to see you again, man.
You too.
Talk about last season, man. It seems like this team almost has like the University of Colorado effect, man, where everybody wants to see you guys lose, man.
Sure.
Talk about how tough that was, the highs and lows of last season, what happened in the playoffs last year. How can you guys kind of build off of, being humble in a way, in manner of speaking?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I don't think that you can get to where you want to go if you're not humbled along the journey. I mean, it's part of the process, and you've seen guys, whether it's Jokic, Giannis, all these guys that have been in these markets where they're growing a team and they've had success and they've had failures and, ultimately end up winning a championship and having success in this league. And, that's what we're striving for. So the journey's never necessarily going to be perfect. but as long as you're learning something along the way and putting your best foot forward every day, we're giving ourselves a fighting chance. So I'm looking forward to another opportunity.
Dez, curious on the Ja front. You've obviously been around him more than we have this offseason. Where do you think he's at in terms of his, I don't know, journey, if you will, through all of this stuff he's gone through? How confident are you that it's kind of in the past? And as a leader within the franchise, how do you kind of navigate unique circumstances this year where you're not going to have him for 25 games and then you're going to have to bring him back into the fold?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been great. I think he's in a very good spot, showing a lot of positivity. We've had open gyms throughout this entire month, and he's been locked in, and he's in shape and looks like himself. So the 25 games, obviously, he'll have a good opportunity to work on his game and some of the things that he might want to be able to put into play come season. So I'm glad that we'll be able to have him around and glad that he's in great spirits.
This has been a pretty young team during your tenure here. To bring in Smart and D Rose, guys who've been in this league and played at a very high level, and that experience, what can that do for this locker room, for this team?
I think it can only help. Like you said, they've not only been in the league for a while, but they both had success. And they've kind of had success in different ways. Where Derrick was most valuable player, the best player on his team, best player in the NBA, on a team that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, when he was in Chicago. And, Marcus, who has been to numerous Eastern Conference Finals and won Defensive Player of the Year and, been a playmaker, been a scorer, done a little bit of everything on both sides of the ball. So just having those two unique guys, being able to play alongside them but also learn from them in the locker room, I think will only help me and all these other guys who are still trying to kind of find their way and know what it takes to win at this level.
Luke said you guys have been having some three-point competitions this summer. First of all, how have those gone?
He's down.
He's down?
He's down.
He said it was
He's
back
down.
and forth.
Man, you can't trust Luke. You can't trust Luke. He walked up to me today. We just got measured last week, and I was 6'5" and 3/4, and he's 6'5" and 3/4. First thing he see me today is he's asking somebody who's taller. So you already know where Luke stands, but I'm up in the competition.
And last year, you said you were going to catch him on three-point percentage.
Bro, last year.
So now it's
we got
new.
This year.
Are there any stakes on the line here?
We need to set some. We need to. I'm gonna talk to him about it tomorrow. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Mm-hmm.
Dez, are you a big film guy? And if you're breaking down film, do you know when you are getting ready for a game if it's a game where a team you can attack? Because we see at times, especially later last year with Ja out, you're running that point, you're attacking. There were games where you didn't even shoot that many threes. Other games where you're shooting threes more. So are you breaking down that film and are you learning from that going into that game?
No doubt. I mean, I think that once you get into the season and you're playing an 82-game season and you're playing every other day, it's hard to get a lot of court work in, a lot of physically taxing things because you're trying to recover and rest your body and be prepared. And the best way to kind of get better while, you can't do as much on the floor is to watch film, whether that's film of yourself or film of your opponent. And I've always kind of been a guy that takes what the defense gives me. So, each game is going to present different challenges and different opportunities. So just making sure that I'm working on the necessary things to be able to handle whatever's thrown at me.
Dez, mentality-wise, what did you learn from last year? What's the biggest thing you learned from last year, and how can you apply it to this season?
I think number one thing is focus, and that's obviously a broad term when it comes to basketball, but, focus on my eating habits, focus on taking care of my body, continuing to work and stay focused. For 82-game season is a challenge, but that's what the best players in the world do. So that's the number one thing, and number two is just have fun. I think that at times you get caught up in it, trying to whatever the case may be, fight for seeding, things going on, you know, around the team, whatever the case may be, and it's just like fun is the number one, you know, or number two priority for us for sure. Focus and have fun.
Dez, to your left. There we go. This first 25 games without Ja, how motivated is this team? I mean, you've dealt with Ja with some injuries and things like that, but so many people are like, oh, look, they're without Ja for a third of the season. How motivated is this team to say, you know, hey, we got other players, we've done it before, and we're going to be okay?
Yeah, we're motivated just like we would be for any other season. You know, we got a bunch of great players. Obviously, Ja is one of the best players in the world, but, you know, we got other great players as well, like you said, who are ready to step up and showcase, you know, the things that they've been working on and how they can contribute to winning. You know, I think we're all ready to get this show on the road. Yeah, I'm looking all over the place.
So, Dez, I mean, Dylan's gone now. Defensively, I know you were talking about cardio is a big part. You know, you're getting now. What does it change for you without Dylan being there? And also, I think Dylan is talking in Houston today. He said those Memphis games, he has those circled on his calendar. Just what have the conversations been like with you two, you know, over the course of the summer with the, you know, banner and whatnot?
Yeah, we talked a little bit at Summer League and a little bit after that. I talked to him a little bit during the World Cup, just checking in with him and stuff. But, you know, I'm glad that he's got him circled. I'm looking forward to being able to compete against him and play against him. We didn't get the opportunity to do that too much here just because of injuries or whatever the case may be. So being able to play against him will be fun, and you know I wish him the best, you know, in his career. And what was the other part of the question? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm excited to play against Dylan Brooks.